Greetings and salutations, YouTube. We're doing something new on my channel. I'm a bit of a tech nerd, and I'm driving a 2023 Tesla Model Y, and this past April. So today is April 30th, and this past April, Tesla let us all try the full self-driving for their program. And as a person who drives professionally, I've been driving this for a month, and I'm doing a review of my experience with this, and I want to show people what it is that I feel that the internet and YouTubers are kind of glossing over when it comes to autonomous driving. Everyone that's been doing reviews, I feel that they're not drivers. Now, I don't have any leg to really stand on. I'm a fledgling YouTuber at this point, but I do have a little bit of insight, maybe not inside information, but I do understand what the self-driving is trying to do per se. And through this ride, I'll explain some stuff and let the car drive itself. One of the reasons why I'm doing this at nighttime is because, and it's Monday into Tuesday. So today's the 30th, and it's basically Monday night into Tuesday morning. And right now, I'm giving you a baseline on how the car performs with me driving it, which is one of the reasons why I want to show the difference between what the car can do and what the system is trying to do. So what you're experiencing right now is me driving. And the reason why I have a flashlight hanging from the mirror is so you can see the G-force. So there's no way of really determining what G-force look like on camera unless you see something swinging in the distance. So Newton's law of motion, an object that's in motion has a tendency to stay in motion. So as I'm moving, this flashlight is going to want to move according to how I'm moving. And when I let the car end up driving itself, we're going to see that in action, because I do feel like this car is way too aggressive at accelerating. And that's one of my pet peeves about driving. I do like 40, 45, 50 hours a week of driving. I do Uber and Lyft. More Uber than Lyft, but I do both. And you get kind of you can say I'm a bit of a driving snob, maybe. And the full self-driving really rubs me the wrong way. So as a person who drives a lot, I want to show people, because I'm a bit of a tech nerd and I love technology, but you also have to be critical of technology when it comes out. And right now, Tesla's full self-driving / autopilot / whatever you want to call it has a larger body count than any other company that's doing autonomous driving. So if you want to say Google has the safest record, they don't drive as many places, but Tesla advertises their full self-driving, and people get into these cars and they put gadgets and doodads on the steering wheel and different things and try to hop in the back of the car and say, hey, look, my car is driving for me. And it gives the idea that the car is performing something it really can't do. And that's why the naming something full self-driving is very dangerous. So this is autonomous driving, and I've dabbled in the whole autonomous driving before. which is, if you want to look up the company called Comma AI. So they came out with a solution that you can plug into a car, kind of like a dash cam, but it mounted to the window and it drove down the road, and it did very good for the fact that it was a single camera looking at the highway and learning how to drive that way. I think that their solution was a lot more difficult than what Tesla's doing, and I'll explain all that as I'm doing this, the driving, because it explains why Tesla favors their maps over letting third-party maps exist on their platform. So like, their maps pretty much is useless, but it's not for you, it's not for me, it's for them. Their maps is designed around collecting data. As I've been using the self-driving feature, full self-driving feature, that's what I've been noticing. Is the reason why the maps is I don't use the maps in this car is because it's not designed with me involved. It's designed for the car to collect as much data as it can to send it back up to Tesla, and then Tesla takes that data and then tries to teach the cars how to drive. So one part of the system is vision, the other part is learning from everybody else. Now, I think that you really need to narrow down who you learn from. You know, not everybody deserves to be learned from. And I mean, I do 40 hours a week driving. I mean, I'm not perfect, but I'm gonna be a whole lot better than somebody who only drives 5 hours a week. So we're right here, and we're gonna do a couple of different test hits. This is gonna first go. We're gonna first go to Georgetown, just outside of Georgetown. And where's that? Oh, where's that point? Right here. Come on. All right. So we're at the top of Wisconsin Avenue, and once I leave out of here, it's gonna take us off to the right, and let me turn this northward so you can follow along too. And basically, we're gonna be navigating around trying to get to these different points, but I also want to show people exactly what the car is doing. And like I said, the reason why I have a flashlight hanging here is because of the G-forces that this car is starting to do. So with full self-driving, you're basically, what you want to do, technically speaking, is the more boring the ride, the safer the ride. I know that people want to be driving fast and everything, but that's not safe. So as a person who drives people around, and I carry a 5.0 on Uber with customers, and a lot of people shake my hand and tell me, oh, you're such a great driver. And you don't get there by accelerating hard, braking hard, doing things that make people nervous. So just so I can give people an idea, this is my credentials. I carry a 5.0 with Uber. All right. And I've been doing Uber for 10 years. So that's 10 years of driving on these platforms, and customers like the way I drive. So this is one of the reasons why I'm a bit of a snob when it comes to driving. So we're gonna go ahead and start. All right, so right there, this is a parking lane. That's the driving lane to the right. So it didn't even get the first part right. We were stopped at a meter. It should have pulled out from the parking lane area and proceeded from there. So one of the biggest problems that I see with autopilot is it's trying to learn how to drive from everybody. And in trying to learn how to drive from everybody, it's kind of getting it all wrong. Because driving is nuance. I learned how to drive from my father. He taught other people. He was very strict with me, and I feel like I have to be very strict with them. So I just disengaged. If you know anything about autopilot, you know when I'm engaged and when I'm disengaged from the blue steering wheel. And like I said, my comfort level with this system is not very good. So you'll probably see me disengaging a lot due to the fact that I don't think that it's capable of understanding certain things. Washington, D.C. has a lot of circles. Navigating circles, this car does not like to do. And if you can't navigate a circle, I don't know what to say. Because every roadway is not going to be perfect. So we're going around this half circle now, and we're on Nebraska Avenue, heading towards American University. Now I'm going to let the car do what it does, which is it's already pre-planned what the speed limit it wants to follow, so I'm not going to interfere with that, even though I would be probably driving a little bit faster. And it's slowing down on a roadway that should be 30 miles an hour. Now granted, like I said, the reason why I'm doing this at night is because people would run up on me and run into the back of the car for this car doing what it's doing right now, which is 15 miles an hour. Now it's up to 30 again. That stretch of highway that we just came past is 30 miles an hour, period. But that's the thing. Tesla is probably pulling data from all the cars that come through there, and it's probably like traffic backup, and they see a lot of cars stopping right there parked on the side of the road. You know, there's embassies over here, there's a American University campus. There's any little thing that could be where a vehicle is stopped for no reason. So we're coming up on the circle. It needs to take the outside lane circle and then cut back into the inside lane. All right, so that handled it pretty good. Even though we're moving too fast for that, it just cut back across and it came to a stop. We are beyond the line, almost into the intersection on the half circle. So the light is green for us now and it's not going. So we're gonna have to nudge it along. All right, so let's let it re-engage again. And like I said, in a straight line, this system does good. Freeway driving, pretty decent, not perfect. I still wouldn't trust it in rapid stopping situations, which is what majority of people are going to run into. Like if you're driving 60, 70, 80 miles an hour and all of a sudden traffic ahead came to an abrupt halt. See, it's merging into the right-hand lane when it doesn't need to, because we're coming up on cars in this lane. Washington, D.C. is a city. And there are people that park in these lanes. That's one of the reasons why you stay in the left-hand lane, so you don't run up on cars that are parked in the lane. All right, cutting it very close. But we're merging back again. See, all this shifting back and forth is not something that I would do, due to the fact that makes people nervous that will be riding with you. So all this shifting back, forth, and we're coming up on another car. Another set of cars. All right, so what are you gonna do? All right, so we're roughly at the spot I wanted to be at, but it took the approach a different way. Now, the next set that I'm going to end up doing is a straight shot down. So going straight down to the next circle off of Massachusetts Avenue. That's where we're at right now, and this goes towards DuPont Circle, if you know anything about DC. And I don't necessarily would like to navigate to this side because I know it's a straight shot, and the system you can use autopilot from this current iteration of autopilot. You can use it to drive straight. Even in a city, you can use it, and it will try to navigate left, right, center that way. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Instead of have the car navigate to a spot, we're going to let it just drive, and it's going to do it that way also. Now, I do know that navigating on autopilot is a thing, but I drive a lot, and I'm not going to plug in navigation every time I want to use the system. There's going to be stretches of road that I'm going to want to engage. There's going to be stretches of road that maybe I'm stuck in traffic and I don't want to have to be doing, accelerating, pedal, brake, accelerating, pedal, brake. But like right now, it's doing decent because we're getting all green lights. But once I go into the neighborhood and we start doing stop and go, it's going to be a different story. So right now it's doing 30 miles an hour. I would be traveling a lot faster than this, probably like 35. Nothing crazy. It's just keeping up with the flow. Doing this in the middle of the daytime is not good for this system because it needs to be able to stay with the flow of traffic. It's choosing what flow it wants to do. But like right now, we got a bus in front of us, but it doesn't really show that bus directly in front of us very well. I can see it on the icon here. It shows us a little block. Now the thing is will it respond to it? And we're slowing down. This section of the road is not 25. So Tesla's data is wrong here too. This spot right here during the day will have a lot of traffic and it slows down, but this is not a 25 mile an hour zone. So this is what I mean by learning how to drive from everybody and it's getting it wrong. This section of the road is 30. Or at least I would be doing 30. I think it is 25 through here. But this car, people will be passing me left and right for what it's doing right now. So yeah, it's 25. So our first good red light. Now, G-force is going to be shown by this flashlight hanging from my mirror. When this rocks back and forth hard, that means the car is accelerating too fast. Like right now, accelerating too fast up to 25. All right, so we're coming up to the circle. I have navigated this circle all month long, and it has not gotten it right yet. I do not want this car to hit these police officers. And that's not where I wanted to go, but we're gonna go with it. Because apparently whoever drives a Tesla in this area always goes this way. So we're getting ready to go into Georgetown's neighborhood. So this is where there's no stoplights. It's all stop and go. So we're talking about stop signs and that's it. Now, like I said, you transporting people around, they do not like to be jerked around because that makes them feel unsafe. So we're gonna start now. Doing 25 in the neighborhood. I do have a vehicle behind me, so I might end up taking over just so I can go ahead and let that vehicle go back past us, depending on what the car decides to do. Braking still a little hard, and accelerating very fast. The braking has gotten a little bit better since I started using it. It was terrible when I first started using it. A lot of people must have been complaining about the braking, but they haven't done anything about the accelerating. So as you can see, the flashlight is hard. It's showing the G-forces. And accelerating hard again. The braking has gotten better. I will say that. I'm very impressed that they've changed the braking parameters, but the accelerating is the problem also. All right. So, gonna disengage here. We're gonna drop down to Q Street because right now we're gonna drop down to P Street. We're on Q. And we're gonna go back out to Massachusetts. So, I would like to say this, as a person who loves technology, I am impressed what Tesla's been able to do, but I'm not on board at the way they're doing it, because what happens if you run into a spot where there's no connectivity? You know, what happens when you go into an area that doesn't have good cell signal? And this car requires a data connection for it to work pretty good, because that's how it's going to update the information to the car. So, or what happens if there's a cell site out? And this car's near. I don't know why this car favors being to the right more than to the left. And take off. All right, still accelerating hard. Like I said, the braking has gotten better, but it still abruptly stops. Alright, so there's a gas station up ahead. Once we get to there, then I'll plug in the navigation again. Because we're going to cut across DC to get to the freeway. And then have some freeway driving in the video. That's if I got enough memory on this phone. If not, I'll probably, this is my last chance to be able to show people what the system can do. I'm not gonna say that I'm a super professional driver. Well, that braking hurt. But I will say that I'm very hypersensitive when people drive. I love my wife. Don't like her driving. She's a rookie driver in comparison. All right, here go the gas station. My wife is a rookie driver in comparison. So for me, I don't like it when she drives. Even though her job is only like 10 miles away from home, she drives like a bat out of hell. Accelerates hard, brakes hard, needs to get into the fast lane, go. I can't close my eyes if we were on a road trip because I'm worried that she's gonna fly up behind something. I would rather you drive steady and put the cruise control on than accelerate hard. All right, so here we go. I know it's strange. I'm driving a Tesla, pulling into a gas station. Seems weird. All right, so I gotta navigate to the next spot. That's DuPont Circle. We need to cut across town. To the freeway. All right, so we're gonna get on the freeway from here. There's a DuPont Circles ahead, Logan Circles ahead. There's a couple of difficult navigating spots ahead, and I want to see. I know kind of how it's been handling, but I want to see will it do it on camera. And that's a one-way. Ooh, it was going the wrong way on a one-way. All right, you're not looking good, full self-driving. So we're gonna be taking P Street to the Circle. Back to Massachusetts. Massachusetts is going to take us down to the freeway. So I'm giving you a slice of DC. Maybe not all what it can show, but that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this at nighttime. All right, so it accelerated pretty good there. It's moving into the wrong lane because this is a lane where they do the eating off the road. So if you're from the East Coast, what they end up doing during COVID was they let people and oil companies put part of their business in the roadways so they can have social distancing and still open up their business. So this car jumped into the wrong lane again. Now you would think that would be part of the metadata that Tesla collects, but that data is not there. All right, so we're coming into a circle where it's weird, and I want to see how it handle it, because you don't really have the right of way, but you're allowed to go on yellow. So if there was a car coming, you would have to yield to whoever is coming around the circle, but you have the right of way to go as long as it's clear. Don't hit the mouse. Don't hit the mouse. Don't hit the mouse. All right. And braking hard. See? It saw the yellow at the last moment. All right, so how are you going to handle this? There's no cars coming to our left. There's a median directly in front of us, and we need to go to the right. And I'm not going to allow this car to do any advanced moves, because what I would do myself is hook this left and right and go into the inside. Accelerating too hard. Going around the circle. As you can see, look at the flashlight. This is taking this circle way too fast, and it's merging, and it's turning hard. All right, this is also a parking lane, so cars will be parked in this lane sometimes, and we're coming up on one. So as a person who drives in DC, I would never drive in the right-hand lane, especially at night, because I'm going to have to shift lanes to... see, now we ran the light. See, either you make the decision and drive, or you don't. You need to go ahead and go through, commit, and go. This car is not designed that way. It's trying to, bridge the gap in between and then leave it up to the customer to make the decision. It sees a yellow light, all of a sudden it wants to slam on brakes. No matter where. So like, as a person who drives a lot, and if you watching this video, you can end up relating. Where are you going? That was unnecessary. Going slow in the tunnel. But you can end up relating is that there's a certain point as you're approaching a light that if it turns yellow, you're not stopping. That's how we drive. That's how pretty much anybody with a license is going to do. They see if you're too close to that intersection and it turns yellow, you're not slamming on brakes, because somebody will slam into the back of you. This car does not do that. Full self-driving is trying to be as overly safe now, since it has too many bodies on its hand. So with that being said, it is dangerous that's the reason why I'm doing it at nighttime, because I know it does this. And what happens if I'm driving down the road in the middle of the day and this car sees a yellow, and I would go through it because I know I have the momentum and I have the time, because the light just turned yellow. This car is going to slam on brakes, and somebody who's behind you is going to assume that you're going to go because they are timing it too. And this car goes, nope, that's not safe. Bam, let's apply full brakes. So this little section of road, I would be doing probably like 30 miles an hour, at least 5 over. But like I said, I'm letting the car choose its own speed. That's kind of technically what I'm doing right now, is letting it choose. So once we get to the DC freeway, That's going to be the last section, because it gets kind of technical still. DC is not a big city. You know, DC is 10 miles by 10 miles, maybe even less, with the fact that Virginia took back Arlington, which used to be part of DC. Fun little fact. But it has a freeway, but it's like a compact version of a freeway. So that means that everything is very close and turns come up fast, you know. All right, so we're not going that way. All right, so we're going past Blue Plains, and we are going to this McDonald's right here. That is where we're going. This is the last leg of the trip. This is going to be the freeway driving portion, and I want to see how it's going to handle, because there are hard, sharp turns, and we're talking about sharp turns where you're just doing 50 and it's a sharp turn. You have to slow down to take these turns. Completely slow down. So we're gonna find out if this system can do it. I've done it in little bits and pieces, and I do not trust it. All right, here we go. So the place that we're going to is at the McDonald's just outside of National Harbor, near the MGM Casino. If you didn't know that Maryland had a casino. So the National Harbor is part of Maryland. So we're going to be leaving DC, going into Maryland via the freeway. The freeway is $2.95. The tunnel access to the freeway is $3.95. One of the issues that I have, especially when it comes to freeway driving, is that the vehicle needs to be able to see further down the road, and it doesn't. Hold on. All right, so you're moving the steering wheel. Why are you moving the steering wheel? The curb is right here. It shows that you see the curb. All right. My foot is over the brake just in case you decide I want to run into the curb. Straighten up. All right, so this is 45 through here, and we are doing 25. This is not safe, but I'm gonna let it do it. I put the hazard lights on. Because people slow down in front of the camera. Come on. All right, I'm nudging it along. The speed limit is 45. It chose to do 25. Yeah, and it's choosing to do 25 miles an hour. So right now, this will be a very unsafe thing to do, since I'm on a freeway style roadway. It wants to do 25 miles an hour. All right, so I'm gonna disengage and I'll re-engage. There we go. The car was moving slowly on a freeway. I report what I can report. So it's doing 54 in a 45, so that's normally what people would probably be doing on this roadway. As soon as we come out of the tunnel, I'll put my window back down. Alright, so this is where it gets tricky. You need to start slowing down right about now for this turn, this upcoming turn. It's starting to slow down, but it's not slowing down enough. It's taking this turn too fast. Way too fast. Still too fast. I wouldn't took this turn that fast. It needs to start merging. Alright, so it didn't merge as fast as I would like. This is like I said, this is the reason why I'm doing it at nighttime. Because this little freeway would be packed full of people. But since it's like 4 a.m., the morning people are starting to come and I'm going home. So people are coming into the city, I'm leaving. So here comes a turn that's coming up. Even though on this freeway, you got to take this turn at like 35 miles an hour, and we're already doing 54. A professional driver would coast through this and let the momentum carry it around, but this car, I don't think it's going to do it, and I'm going to end up taking over. Taking it too fast, taking it too hard, the flashlight is leaning, and it now slowed down. And now it's slowing down in the middle of the freeway again. Keeping up with traffic is paramount because people are passing me very, very erratically now. So we're coming up on another hard turn. That's probably one of the reasons why it's not going up to speed, because it needs to do this at 30 miles an hour. Now 25. Coming around. It's doing it, but it's taking it very weird. It's more blocky, kind of like it's understeering. It's understeering and oversteering a lot. It's not a smooth turn, and it's still slow. I need to take over. We need to be up to at least 58. All right, here we go. So somebody watching this video is probably going to think that I'm very petty. I'm very nitpicky. I think that when people ride with you, they expect you to be safe and keep them safe. But the little things matter. And if you can't show that you gotta have control over the little things, which is stop and going, keeping up with traffic, these things matter. That's one of the things that my father drilled into my head is you don't have to pass everybody, but you do have to keep up. So currently right now, this car would not be able to pass a driving test at all. It takes circles bad. It merges in and out of lanes bad. If a driving instructor was rating this car, he would have flunked it going through the tunnel, because you're not moving at speed well at the safe speed to be able to, you know, keep up with traffic. You would get dock points for that also. And this car, well, full self-driving, loves changing lanes for some weird and odd reason. Me personally, if your turn is nowhere coming up, drive safely, stay in the lane. If the person's late, they're going to be late regardless. If they need to drive, they know how to disengage. But the system needs to drive safely. So we're almost to the end. Since this is my last day with this, I wanted to give my review. I don't think that it's worth $99 a month. I really don't. If it was 30 or 40, then I can see it helping me in freeway driving. But inner city driving, no. If anything, I'm more annoyed with it, and I'm kind of glad that my subscription is expiring, because then I can go back to the regular autopilot that the car is already built in with, and just use it that way and adapt my driving style to that. This car does not like inputs while it's navigating. Matter of fact, it countermanded me, and I was trying to tell it to stay in the lane. It wanted to be in another lane and overrule me. That's not good. You tell me I'm supposed to be supervising, and the car is ignoring my input. So it handles freeway driving very well, as you can see. If I was doing 70 or 80 and it was like this type of style of traffic, I would have no problem. But as the traffic gets closer, I wouldn't trust it. The car, I wouldn't know what the car would want to do at the last moment. It might want to shift lanes all of a sudden when it doesn't need to. And yes, you can tell it not to shift lanes, but the thing is even when you put it on chill and minimum lane shifts, it still wants to shift lanes. So like right now, we're technically in the fast lane. We should have been in the right-hand lane the whole time. But it has us in the more faster lane, which is the left-hand lane. But that's, like I said, driving etiquette is not something you can teach. You have to learn it. I know that sounds counterintuitive. Now we're moving into the right-hand lane. But lane etiquette is what you learn when you ride with somebody who's driven for years and years and years. You start picking up things to be able to understand. Like if you're on a 4-lane freeway, you go slower in the right-hand lane and you go faster in the left. But then if I set the cruise, if I want to just set the cruise control at 60 miles an hour, and the lane that I'm in is pretty much for 60 miles an hour, don't move. Stay in that lane. Unless somebody is literally stopping in that lane, there's no reason for you to want to go faster. So it's navigating this pretty well. This is a very tricky little intersection due to the fact that you got the Woodrow Wilson Bridge exit in the middle, you got National Harbor exit in the center, and you have the exit go to Baltimore to the left. So it did that, it navigated that very well. Alright, so we're gonna go start slowing down here. It already showed the sign for 30 miles an hour. We're still at 55. Should be slowing down now. Right now. Slow down. Taking turns too fast. We're at the National Harbor. You still got too much speed. You need to take the inside lane, and it missed it. So it missed it. It did good until we started having to navigate. Like I said, the supervising part of this self-driving, if I have to do this much supervising, I might as well drive myself. That's pretty much where I'm at with this. If it's freeway driving, that's good. But navigating in the city in its current iteration, which, you know, somebody's gonna say, hey, it's not there yet, but give it a chance, or, you know, whatever terminology you want to come up with. Right now, currently, I don't think it's there. I don't think it's been there for a while. So thank y'all for riding along with me. If more people wanted to find out and my channel is able to support it, I'll purchase the full self-driving, but I don't think I would purchase it for myself. It's not something that I would buy per se. I mean, autopilot that comes standard on the car does good enough. I don't see full self-driving as being something that I would buy. Even though they came down in price, I still wouldn't buy it. If it wasn't worth it at 12 grand and now it's at 8,000, it's not worth it at 8,000 either. Sorry. I would say it's probably worth maybe 2,000 or 3,000, and if you had to finance it or pay per month, I would say $25 a month. In its current iteration, I don't think it's worth it. But, you know, somebody's gonna look at this, and, you know, I wanted to give a very honest review. As an Uber customer, Uber driver, customers have been asking me about it, and all the talking and having conversations with people helped me come up with the way I wanted to approach this. But now, currently, my month is over with, and I'm curious to see what type of progress they're gonna have. But if the channel goes in that direction and people would like for me to see it, I'll purchase it, but it will be because the channel and people want to watch it. That's the only reason why I would get it. I wouldn't get it for my personal use or everyday use. But thank y'all. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I do other things related to tech. I have a tech podcast that I do, shameless plug. But thank y'all for watching, and y'all have a good one.